This next article from Daily Mail. SWAT swarms LA apartment after shots were fired at Trump caravan. A standoff is underway at the Woodlands Hills apartment complex following the recorded shooting of at a pro-Trump rally Sunday, according to the police. Woman was driving past the caravan in Woodlands Hill when she heard sounds like gunshots around 11:30 p.m. local time. She said she then noticed her tire was flat after being damaged by a projectile, possibly a bullet. LAPD said. Another witness saw a person with a firearm stood at a balcony nearby apartment building in the 20,600 block of Ventura Boulevard. Police say they later obtained a photo of a man holding a rifle on a balcony of the same apartment building. Tactical teams were said to be attempting to draw the alleged shooter and two others out from the apartment block around 3:30 p.m. The group had reportedly barricaded themselves inside of one of the units. And then the SWAT team came and got them. These are the good guys. You might not agree with the war on drugs. I don't. I say we should legalize them. But the fact is, the voters voted these laws in. Most of them are local laws in cities. I live in Oregon. We passed a local law that said marijuana is legal here. And it's legal. As you can see, I'm a lot smarter than most of these people that want to have drugs illegal, even when I'm really stoned. So, these people hate police, and it's because the voters passed laws, and it's because the voters continue to elect Democrat politicians who are insanely corrupt, and they don't change. They don't want to change these things. Kamala the Snitch Harris was a prosecutor who prosecuted people for smoking pot. She loved doing that. She's a snitch. Not just a little bit of a snitch, the snitch. And apparently she's a slut too and slept her way up to the top. That's what Rush Limbaugh says. But nope. Can't criticize, you can't slut shame, because that's apparently if a man does that and he's running for office, then they're going to use that to attack him as a man, because that man is not monogamous, not up to, he's not as moral as the other one. But if a woman does it, you can't slut shame her, because that's sexism. I don't know, man. I personally don't care about your feelings. In fact, I personally think that when you behave like a sissy, you end up turning into a spineless backstabber. You side with people that you should not because you did not like the tone of my voice or what I said. And as it turns out, I was the good guy, and then you went over and you sided with the bad guy. So it's best when we just laugh at me, because it is actually rather entertaining. When you are not really mad and want to kill me, it is actually rather funny. It is not hateful, because it's comedy. Oh, they're allowed to, here. So they're allowed to put Nazi films up. They're allowed to have movies where they're killing people, and they're allowed to have music videos where they're gunning people down in the ghetto, where they're like womanizing. But then I can't say anything like that, not at all. Even if I'm doing a parody, a news parody, no, they got to censor that. There's a guy who died, Joey Gibson, founder and leader of the Patriot. Oh, he was a founder of Patriot Prayer. Paid tribute to Bishop. Oh wait. Joey Gibson paid tribute, and then who was the guy who got killed? What? Man, that sucks, man. They just assassinated this guy because he had a Patriot Prayer hat on. It's like a free speech and anti-big government group, dude. That's not a far right. Dude, far right means like steep social hierarchies, authoritarianism, like fascism, bro. This guy's the opposite of fascism. They just gunned him down in the streets because he's a Trump supporter. He's a white male. Oh, and they also kill black people, too. There's almost 20,000 murders in the U.S. each year. There's about 20,000 gun accidents, gun death accidents in the U.S. Less than 1,000, about 1,000 police shootings or killings per year. So do the math on that one. The police are about 5% of the gun accident. Hold on. Most of the people that the police kill are armed and pose a significant threat to the public. There's a small amount of gun accidents in there, and they're like a tiny fraction of the number of gun accidents each year. But they want mob justice because they're not happy with the court trial. They're not happy that the evidence that they got exonerated and they were innocent because they think they're guilty because they got fake news. They got lied to by people trying to get scam donations like George Floyd's brother and Jacob Blake's family. They've already profited over $1 million in scam donations. And when they get $1 million in scam donations, they're not gonna tell you the truth. If they told you the truth, they'd have to give you the money back. They're not going to do that. That's why we have to shut GoFundMe down and change.org and moveon.org because they're scam donation sites. They're scams. They're scamming the American people, getting you to pay for some donation for a fundraiser. You think your money is going to be used for one thing and it's used for a riot to burn your city and your businesses and your house down. And the Democrats are in full support of it. And it's because it's not their house. It's not their business. They don't live in your community. They don't know anybody there. They don't vote there. They don't pay taxes there. They don't have any business there. But they'll certainly tell you how you should run your life from the up top day ivory tower because they're attention whores. They have to have you like them. They can't not post on social media. You have to be watching them on Twitter or else they're going to freak out because they're working so hard in the ivory tower that they have anxiety, PTSD, depression, narcissistic personality disorder. And so they need to tell you anything that you want to hear in order to get you to like the post, watch the ad, buy the product, and vote for them. And so they want to push policies that are absolutely nightmarish and dystopian. But they live in gated communities. They're so rich. When your family goes under and your house is foreclosed on, your business is foreclosed on, they're going to come do the swoop and buy your house and your business for pennies on the dollar. That's how much of a scum these people are. You have to stop them. You cannot continue to vote for Democrats. They owned slaves. They started the KKK. They opposed women's suffrage. They passed the 1994 crime bill that created the prison industrial complex. They're black murder mobs. They're white feminists. They want to replace the white man with Latinos because they're in some crazy, insane feminist suicide cult where they all want to put off having a kid, the women, till their 30s so they could slave for Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and kill off their genetic line. And then their birth rate's so low that they have to bring in immigrants to replace them so the ivory tower liberals can keep up their supply of cheap labor and customers. This is Biden's America. This is Kamala the Snitch Harris's America, where corrupt California Democrats, cartels, Chinese Nazi Party, and terrorists control America, and they censor your speech because they're all insane and they are acting in the capacity of fact-checking organizations and news publishing organizations, but then they want to get a Section 230 pass on all the tort lawsuits. Facebook is the primary entity that's responsible for these rioting and looting. Primary entity. There's no other entity at all, period, that touches anywhere near the amount of rioting that these that has gone on because these people are organizing these riots on Facebook. They're getting scam donations for these riots on Facebook. They are committing fraud on Facebook. They're putting out images of atrocity propaganda, doctored up, photoshopped images, such as this one, this image, where you can see someone had sprayed this little girl with water. You see this person's finger over here. You can see it. She's not pointing at the cop. They're not. They photoshopped it. You can see there's dark spots. There's dark spots. That means the light's not the same. The pattern's not the same. Why'd they draw this little line around it? It's cut and paste. They sprayed somebody with water. Made it look like it was mace. That's because they're scammers. They're trying to get scam donations. It's atrocity propaganda. Is what it's called. That's how you start riots, is with atrocity propaganda, where you turn run boogeyman propaganda into attack boogeyman propaganda, where you turn the perception that there are many of them and few of us, so you have to be afraid of the boogeyman and run, to there are many of us and few boogeymen, so we can attack the boogeyman. Hence, run and attack boogeyman propaganda. And then you can use it as a psychological warfare technique. It's a new era of psychological warfare brought to you by Xi Jinping and the Democrats, all targeting the white people to remove the racist white males because of their white privilege, because they took the land from the Amerindians and they took it from the Mexicans, because whenever we had the Spanish-Mexican War, they were fighting the Amerindians, right? This is what these people think. Their knowledge of history is so juvenile and ignorant. They think that we took Mexico from Amerindians. They think that we took it from people who actually look like the tribal Americans. We're all natives here. We were born in America. You're native. They're tribal Americans or Amerindians. But the truth is that Mexico was started under control of the Spanish. They were Spanish conquistadors. There was less than 5,000 of them in the entire territory. Mexico did not exercise control over the territory, hence why we annexed it, because it was a legitimate annex. It was. And then the people who lived there, they got first dibs on the land, and they became American citizens, and they loved America. So the story that they told you was a lie. And it's because they are corrupted on this leftist notion that we have to care more about fairness than anything else, than self-protection, than cleanliness, than authority, than group loyalty. Because you cannot be loyal to your country. You can only be loyal to leftists in a leftist land. That's why they're called leftist, because they only side with the left. They're not a classical liberal, because in America, American liberalism, we preserve classical liberalism. We preserve the Constitution. We preserve free speech. We preserve freedom of religion, of the right to educate your child. These are conservative principles with a small c, not the big C. These are like common law conservative. These are the basis of democracy. The fundamentals that our Constitution is based on are some very noble, very honorable principles. That is what we are conserving here on the right. And this is what is such a big threat to the Chinese Nazi Party, because the Chinese Nazi Party knows the end is nigh. Recent reports, which I should have had, man, I messed up. About 60% of the people in the Chinese Nazi Party think that the time is nigh. I got it from the Epoch Times. That's why I don't have that. Yeah, so look that up on the Epoch Times. The Chinese Nazi Party is going down in flames. It's a big movement, and I help fight for it on this show. When you support this show, you support the fight against Zinni the Pooh and the Chinese Nazi Party. I will fight every day for us.